Next up, we have Amy Van Bergen. Amy is a multidisciplinary artist creating bold, experimental work that explores memory, emotion, and transformation through visual storytelling. Let's give our attention to Amy.
Thank you so much. Close your eyes for a moment and picture somebody that you trust. You feel comforted by this person. Maybe you feel loyal. You find a sense of belonging when you're around them, and maybe you would even say that a part of your identity is shaped by this person. You have someone in mind? Okay. Now comb all of those feelings together and bundle them up in your mind's eye and turn them into a mango. Okay, hang in there with me. So you've got this mango of belonging and trust in your mind, and then you notice that there's a fruit fly in it. And it's burrowing around and eating up the fruit. And then there's another, and another, and it's consuming the fruit from the inside out. Ugh. Your sense of belonging and trust is gradually being devastated. Okay, you can open your eyes now. Sorry to put you through that. I just really wanted you to get a sense of what it can feel like to grow up in church and to have your sense of trust fade away. What many are experiencing, calling it a faith deconstruction. Everyone has different fruit flies that are eating away at their mangoes. For some, it's the social injustices perpetuated by the church. For some, it's grief or abuse or total disillusionment. For me, it's all of the above, spearheaded by the fact that my pastor and co-youth leader for over a decade is in jail for child pornography. I'm Amy, and I promise it gets better from here. I'm a worship leader, poet, and performer with 14 years of experience helping communities engage faith through beauty and honesty. I'm a self-published children's book author and illustrator. Last year, I was a songwriter in residence for the City of Mission. I'm a director and producer of Common Territory, a documentary that filmed in the Chilliwack Film Festival this past fall. I have a BA and a bachelor's in biblical studies, training in musical theater, and a community development career. So I've learned how to build trust in both church and arts spaces. I offer a one-woman show that weaves together original music, songs, poetry, visual arts, and storytelling into an immersive experience that's portable enough to reach small venues, yet powerful enough to reawaken wonder and maybe even hope. Because I'm not really passionate about releasing music into the void. I'm passionate about sharing resources that saved my life when I was processing my own story. And frankly, I'm not alone in this, and no one should feel like they are. So I've spent years transforming my own journey into artwork that can help others turn something so intangible and isolating into moments of clarity, catharsis, and connection. Because my show is low tech, I can tour from the island to the Okanagan without a big investment. I just need a carload and an invitation. My niche isn't massive, but it is meaningful. Just 1% of the regional population represents over 35,000 potential touch points of people that are already seeking this out. That's before scaling online or expanding into American communities. My work is contemplative and emotionally resonant, so it naturally drives deeper audience engagement, things like word of mouth, growth, return attendance, and cross-medium interest. Because people don't just listen and leave, they chew on it, talk about it, share it, and often come back for more. I've already invested $5,000 of my own money to make this happen, but the $5,000 prize will take my foundation to the next level. With it, I'll be able to record more music and build a press kit to anchor a digital presence. I'll complete a poetry course so that my manuscript is publisher ready, and purchase AV gear so that I'm totally tour ready for any venue across the region. My milestones are already mapped out. I've got a test show coming up June 25th. You're all invited. And then I'll launch my website to be ready for paid performances starting in the fall, and then record some more music and publish my first book in early 2026. This $5,000 will accelerate every step and promote quality and trust along the way. Since overheads stay low, I expect revenue to grow each year as the show gains traction. Once established, my main costs will be marketing, travel, and more recording and book printing on demand. My work creates rare, creative, and trauma-informed spaces for people navigating very complicated doubt, grief, and isolation, while softening conflict and deepening community empathy. I'm really excited to finally be able to offer my support to the community in a sustainable way, and I'm really excited to share it with all of you. Thank you so much.
I'll start. Wow. Where do you get your energy from? Your mother, father? Where does that come from? Give me a little kind of clip of your. How'd you get here in 30 seconds?
Okay. Well, I grew up in a small town in the prairies. As I said, I have a very fraught church history, but I also continued to deepen my exploration of theology because I really believe that, true to the metaphor, maybe all the fruit has been rotten away, but a mango has a pretty big seed. So I feel like the only way now that I've gone through like 12 plus years of counseling is to turn my process of healing into something that can help my broader community with that process, because something like spiritual trauma has really only been in, a phrase since the 90s, slightly before I was born. I feel like if I'm able to give and share what I've been able to create, that means that I've actually been able to take power back and share it with the community, because there's a lot of us out here and it's rough. Thanks for asking, though.
Can you expand, first of all, thank you so much for the presentation, and I really enjoyed the metaphor. Can you expand a little bit more on your marketing of your skill or what you're offering?
Totally, yes. So I'm really well connected through a lot of churches and denominational networks and Christian colleges and nonprofits and what have you through my work and also my husband's. And so a lot of it with this topic especially comes through trust and word of mouth to begin. So I'm really glad that I've already got a test show booked at a church in Mission to really start that kind of like, oh, this lady knows how to approach these subjects sensitively. I'm also having that show professionally filmed so I can be able to offer like snippets to people, which is where the music recording and the chat book comes in, so people can kind of have multiple entry points, but the show really anchors it. So definitely online, website, these church planting conferences and networks to begin. But upwards of that, I know there's a lot of social media presence for people engaging with this topic that has a lot of engagement online.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation, Amy. You mentioned emotionally resonant as sort of a description of the work you're doing. Can you share with us any really short vignette or any example of someone deeply influenced by your work? How did it influence them? Any specific example?
For sure. So I have produced 3 similar shows since 2018 on an ad hoc or as a fundraiser design in the past, which each raised about $2,000. But every time that I share my work in a church, because I am a worship leader and sometimes I slip my stuff in to see what happens. And people often come up to me and say, I didn't know that's what I was feeling until you said it like that. And that's really helpful. Can I have that? Can I share it with my mom or something? And I always have to go, here's my phone. But I'd really like to be able to put some dollars behind giving them something of quality that says, no, like you can trust this. And if you share this with somebody that you trust, they'll take it more seriously. So yeah, I get a lot of people coming up saying, that was really helpful for me. I've never heard it phrased like that. In a minute, I don't know if I could share a snippet to do it justice, but thanks for the question. I hope that helped.
Thank you, Amy. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, well, I would really love for the show to have the credibility that people have heard of someone else who went and said, oh, I really want that to come to my community. From there, I could really see if I definitely have over 200 original songs and many more poems. So I would love to have at least 2 chapbooks of that content published and a full album. But of course, maintaining the quality of those live shows as an anchor would really be dependent on that timeline. So I see just building out the work to make more available and having more and more bookings. And I would love a cross Canada tour, whether that's in small living room venues up to colleges.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks again for your presentation.
I was wondering if this is a cross-faith opportunity. Is there the opportunity to go beyond the Christian faith into Muslim or Judaism?
Yeah, good question. I feel like that would be up to really, because it's such a sensitive topic, I would really lean on partnerships for that, which I already have. I live with a lot of Muslim friends and Jewish friends in a cross-cultural apartment building nonprofit setting. So we're already kind of talking about that. So I love that you're leaning into that. But I would definitely try to lead from the personal experience of my Christian evangelical upbringing. Yeah, thanks. Thank you so much.
Great job, Amy. Thank you.